Hello there. This video tutorial will show you how to set up registration and survey forms when scheduling a meeting with anymeeting. After setting up a meeting with anymeeting, I have the option to schedule the meeting right away without a registration or survey form by pressing the Schedule Webinar Now button down here. More information can be found on this on a different tutorial. However, if I would like to associate a registration and or survey form with that meeting, I can press the Next button to proceed to those steps. Now first, we set up a registration page. This is a step your attendees will have to go through, providing information and announcing they plan to attend, before they actually are sent an invite with information on how to get in. Now if we don't want a registration, we can just press the Skip This Step button up top. Now first, if you want to use the registration form of a recent meeting, it can be copied by selecting the registration form from this drop-down menu. This will just pre-populate all fields with the registration form's information. Here we can put in a header. This is just some text that appears at the top of the registration form. And here we have some fields. These are just standard questions that can be included in the form. You can allow attendees to answer them optionally by clicking Show, or require them to answer by pressing both Show and Require. If we want to ask your own custom questions, though, that's just fine. We press the Create a Question button right here. From this menu, we can decide whether it's required to answer or not, and we can put in the question and multiple choice answers here. If you don't include any answers, it will just be an open field that they can answer however they want. And of course, you can make multiple custom questions. Now in the footer, we can set a message that will appear at the bottom of the registration form, just like the header. And here we can include a terms of service. Including text here will include a terms of service agreement that attendees are required to click an I agree box before they can hit register. Now down here, we can set how often your attendees will receive reminder emails. These emails will go out automatically to your registrants at these intervals. And of course, you can't select an interval that has already passed. And here you can choose whether or not you would like emails to be sent to your account's email address with the details of each registration as your attendees register. And finally, down here there are just a couple more options. First off, you can set up a maximum number of registrations allowed. Any meeting can have up to 200 participants in the webinar, but you can have many more than that register. Setting a number here will stop new registrations once the maximum you set has been reached. And finally, if you would like your webinar to be password protected, meaning your attendees will be required to register with a password that they will have to enter when they log in, you can set that option here. This stops people who haven't registered from being able to view the webinar or recording. When we're done, we can hit the Next button to move on to the survey form. Now the survey form is set up nearly exactly the same as the registration form. And just like the registration form, if we'd rather not include one, we can click Skip This Step. Now, unlike the registration form, the survey form is sent out after the meeting is completed. The survey has many of the same options as the registration, with a couple notable exceptions. You can click here in order to enable our testing options, allowing you to transform the survey into a scoreable test. And down here, you can decide on a URL your attendees are directed to after they fill out the survey. When done, you can click Next down here. And the final step of the scheduling a meeting process is the preview page. Here we can check our date and time of the meeting and check out what our registration and survey forms are going to look like. If we're happy with our choices, we can hit Finish, and this will send out the registration form to any attendees' emails we included. Now if after we're done with the process we would like to alter these forms, all we need to do is click on the Details link for the meeting of recording, which is also available from the main page, and then click on the Registration and Survey tabs. All of the options to edit these forms are right here. You can even choose to include one if you didn't set up a registration or survey while scheduling the meeting. As well, up here, you will find the URLs for the survey and registration, allowing you to send attendees directly to them without needing to use our invite system. Keep in mind that if you're using a registration form, you definitely want to give people that unique registration form URL and not the webinar URL or audience login URL as it says here. You can put these URLs in your own emails or even host them on your own web page. Congratulations! You now know everything that you need to know about setting up a registration and survey form with anymeeting.